Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, all praises and double honors due to Yahweh by Hashem HaMashiach Ramalak Yahweh Shai. Secondly, this is Brother Yardan, WFI Detroit, coming back at you with the another cold cut. Today in this cold cut, we'll be going over an article from Harrods, owned by Amalek, of course, like all things in Babylon, America. And as you can see in front of you, the headline is Israel orders 45 black Hebrew Israelites to leave country in 60 days. All right. Sutton and Hercules families who received letters from the Interior Ministry ordering them to leave the country yesterday. All right. That's right here. It's like it is what I'm reading. So these are the Israelites. We're not black Hebrew Israelites. We're Israelites. Nobody in this picture is black. All right. Nobody in this picture, is the color of her shirt. So that's the term that Esau, coined, black Hebrew Israelites. We're Hebrew Israelites. We're just Israelites. All right. So we're going to read a little bit of this article and dive into it. 45 members of the black Hebrew Israelite community, and I'm going to read it as it's written. We know it's not black Hebrew Israelite, they're Israelites. Recently received letters from the Interior Ministry ordering them to leave the country within 60 days after they had sought to regularize their residency status in Israel. Many of them lived in Israel without any legal status for more than 20 years, including people who were born in Israel. Right, and this lets you know who runs the world, where they have the free will and authority to just evict anybody. But Esau isn't the devil. Ishmael ruled the world, right? Hell nah. And what makes it worse is they're in their land, right? These heathen are in our land. And they're telling us to leave again. All right? Because this already happened. This happened a few times. This happened in 70 AD, man. Where they said, get the hell out. It happened in the book of Acts. We're going to bring it out. It's Acts 18. It's Acts 18:1. After these things, Paul departed from Athens and came to Corinth, and found a certain Jew named Aquila, born in Pontus, lately come from Italy, with his wife Priscilla, because that Claudius had commanded all Jews to depart from Rome, and came unto them. All right, let's Google this man Claudius. All right, here we go. So we read Acts 18:2, that Claudius had commanded all Jews to depart from Rome. This is that Claudius, right? He expelled them from Rome, the expulsion. Even Suetonius refers to necessarily later than 41 AD 41. All right, so that's that demon, that's that devil. Let's read a little bit more, because we have to go into the history of this thing. The Lord said, be not ignorant of anything small or great. All right. So let's read, this is the question. Why did Claudius prohibit Roman Jews from meeting in synagogues since 41 CE? We know from ancient Roman historian Cassius Dio that the Emperor Claudius reigned 41-54 CE. CE is the common era, for those who don't know. Ordered the Jews not to hold meetings in Rome around 41 CE. And best believe the things that are written aforetime are written now for our learning and understanding, right? So best believe that this is going to happen again. If it happened to our forefathers, especially this type of situation, it's going to happen to us. All right. Jews not to hold meetings in Rome around 41 BC. And yet, Cassius does not explicitly reveal why Claudius will prohibit Roman Jews, but we know why. He was wicked and he hated us. All right. Roman Jews from meeting in synagogues. If we look at Claudius' letter to Alexandria, we see Salakia. We see that he explicitly warns the Jews not to engage in certain activities, which, if carried out, would entice wrath upon them. For example, he warns them not to agitate Salakia for more privileges than formerly possessed, and not in the future to send out a separate embassy, and not to bring in or admit Jews who come down the river from Egypt or from Syria. Now, this is what Esau is telling us, but of course there are more things behind the scenes that played out. By all means, take vengeance. As former tourists, which generally plague and infecting the world. All right. And that links up with John, the 16th chapter as well. Let's get it real quick. A lot of these things happened back then, but guess what? It's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. John 16:1, these things I have spoken unto you, that ye should not be offended. They shall put you out of the synagogues. Yea, the time cometh that whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth God's service. All right? It's going to happen to us. So back to the article. I was born here, raised here, was educated here, and I don't know any other place in the world. It said Yelitu Hercules. They got Amalekite names. 22, whose parents are without status as well. This is my home. Why should I have to leave my home? She said, according to the Interior Ministry's Population Immigration Authority, the community often referred to as Black Hebrews. Right, that's what they refer to us as. Right, we're proving it. Comprises some 2,000 people who live primarily in Daimonia, though there were small communities in Yeraham, Mitzvah, Raman, Arad, Tel Aviv, and Tiberias. Tiberias, the community claims they are far more numerous. The community started to come together in 1960s in Chicago, subscribing to theology promulgated by Ben Carter, a Black Baptist. A Black Baptist who changed his name to Ben Ami Ben Israel. All right. And I want to mention during the 60s, that was around the time where the truth started to spread like wildfire. All right. That was the beginning stages. That was the domino effect. Right. Years later, now you have about 20 plus countries in Babylon, America that we know of that are going out there in the highways and byways teaching the word, prophesying in part, knowing in part. All right. So the Most High put it upon certain Israelite men back then during the 60s to reveal the truth unto Judah, to the tents of Judah first, and then to the rest of Israel, being the northern kingdom, which comprises of the so-called Mexicans, which are Issachar, the Zebulonites, Ephraimites, Asherites, Naphtaliites, Manassites, So I digress. While they started settling in Israel in the late 1960s, it was only during the late 90s that the state began granting them residency. It's not really important at the moment, but the main point is, the crux of the matter is, they're expelling these Israelites. All right. Esau is known for doing that. But Ishmael is running the world. You got your damn mind. Esau is the devil. All right, you have to remember that. If you don't know who your enemy is, then you'll get jammed up. All right. And in the same breath, although that's wicked to kick them out their land, in the same breath, you got to remember that that it's in the curses that will be taken from our homeland. That's Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Right? So it all goes back to the curses at the end of the day. Right? And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spake to thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Right? And thou shalt see it no more again. You're not going to see your homeland anymore. All right? So you can't be entirely upset. You can be upset, right? Because oppression makes the wise man mad, but in the same breath, this is the curses. Right? It's still frustrating, but this is the curses. All right? I brought that out to, for sake of just balance, because you also got to remember that it was a doctrine in Israel that we have to go back to Israel. That's the doctrine. Well, now Esau is pushing certain policies and things of that nature to prohibit you from going back to Israel. So that dismantles that doctrine as well. All right. So again, main crux of the matter is Israel is ordering Israelites to remove and leave the country. And we always bring out, if they'll do this, it's like the way that Esau works is they'll do one thing like this, and then the next thing after this is going to be a little worse. Esau is crafty as a serpent on the left-hand side, and a serpent doesn't just run up on you, it slithers up on you. All right, you have to know your enemies. And Esau, our enemy, he moves as a snake. So this is Sirach 5 and 15. This would be a quick cold cut. The Lord said, be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. So you do not want to be ignorant of what goes on, not only in Babylon, America, but the rest of the world. All right. After all, the Lord said this in 2 Esdras 9. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, thou shalt understand that it is the very same time where the eyes will begin to visit the world which he made. All right. What we read has to do with the end time prophecies, because guess what? When countries get kind of mad and upset, they kind of expel people that's not native to that land. Russia did that. North Korea did that. Europe was doing that. America did it. You're kind of saying, get the hell out of my land and go back to your land. So when we go to war with you, we kill you. I'm sure that's what's in their thoughts. But so Khan, with that, I'm going to bid Israel Shalom. Be circumspect. Know what's going on around the news. Be vigilant. Because, the Lord can come back any minute now. All right. Shalom.